Whenever you find yourself at odds with another human being, make sure you ask yourself one key question. I don't mean literally ask yourself, but question in your mind. Question whether that other person is truly, completely at fault. And I say this from the get-go because unless you are superhuman, it is very likely that at least on an instinctual level, intuitive level, you're going to want to toss all the blame on the other person. Come on, I've been there, right? I'm human, just like the rest of you. I know how the get down is. I know how this shit works. You need to realize it happened, okay? You know, a disagreement happened and you intuitively decided to put all the blame on the other person, as they probably did with you. So now you're butting heads. It happened, okay? Both of you made the wrong move. Now, if both of you are going through this cognitive cerebral process, what's the most likely outcome? Theoretically, you two should be able to meet somewhere in the middle. What that means is that you yourself should be able to recognize that the entirety of the blame does not go to the other person. You might have some of it. You may not have all of it, but you're going to have some of it. The other person should be, theoretically, of course, we don't, this is the real world. We don't work like this, I know, always, but sometimes we go out of our way to do this when we have to, right? Anyway, the other person should be going through the same process, and they should be able to meet you halfway in their mind where they can take some of the blame internally, because that's how most things work. When we are at odds with somebody else, with another human being, it is most likely that we are both to blame. And it's very important. Now, we can't always sit down and have a face-to-face. When it's possible, I think it's great. But we can't always sit down and have a face-to-face with another person. Sometimes we both just have to make that cognitive shift, or that cognitive process has to be undertaken where we both recognize that we share some of the blame. Now, if two people can recognize this, even if they don't verbally hash it out, well, the world can be made just a tiny bit better, you know. For the world to really change, this has to happen consistently, and it has to happen with a lot of people. And I'm sure it does happen from time to time. Unfortunately, I don't think it happens quite as often as it should. And I think a big part of that is the fact that, well, it's just ignorance. It's just something that we don't know necessarily. We don't know it on a deep level, at least. We don't stop and think about these things.